Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Morning, Surdan. Surdan. Shurdan? Oh, that's a hard name. I can call you T. I think I'm gonna call you T. Good morning, T. Morning, Ricardo. Hey, guys. Good morning, Brian, Ellie, Woods in the chat. Early mornings. What's up, guys? Yeah, we got core PCE today, so you know we gotta be patient here because market's most likely gonna consolidate. We have resistance, we got support, and daily right now is only down 0.12%. So this is the kind of like a range that a price is bouncing in between. And this whole range here is like how many pips? Like the 71 pip range. So it's like this is where you're looking for possible entries. You know, it's between resistance and support. This is like your playground right here. This is your playground. So don't get too ambitious. Don't get too ambitious with having like these crazy runners and bumbleclots, because we have core PCE, which is the kind of like inflation data coming out here, and it's looking to be the same. So we're looking at neutral numbers for this. Okay, we're looking at neutral numbers for this event. That's going to be about 30 minutes into the New York session. Let's see what it's saying. The release of the PC readings will be the salient event, second by the final gauge of the UMIC consumer sentiment and advanced good trade balance. Oh. What else do we have here? All right, let's see. Anticipation that the Federal Reserve Governor Powell was going to push against speculation of a September rate cut has underpinned the US dollar and short-term rates. The S&P 500 had sold off for 5 consecutive sessions, the longest losing streak of the year through August 21st. Yeah, you see, we're really going to get some crazy price action start to come in here towards the end of the year, for sure. Powell said two things that spurred a rally in US financial assets and triggered a sharp and broad dollar sell-off. See how that dollar is doing here today. It's not too bad. It's a little bit above average. Got a little bit of strength in there. What else we got? GJ is kind of neutral. This is the last day of the last trading day of the month. Unless you trade cryptocurrencies. But this is the last trading day of the month over here. So we got Freaky Friday, end of the week, and we got core PC price index. So we got a few things to look out for here. What I'm thinking is gonna happen is price is gonna range here until New York or pre-NY most likely. That's gonna be the most likely situation. Demand for physical gold in India picked up slightly this week despite a recovery in prices as jewelers stocked up ahead of the festive season, while activity remained subdued elsewhere. Man, this is one word, chat. I can never say this word. Jewelers. It's such a tongue twister for me. I don't know why. Indian dealers were charged a premium of up to $4 per ounce over official domestic prices, inclusive of 6% import and 3% sell levies, compared to last week's offers that range from $2 discount to a $3 premium. Jewelers were sitting on the sidelines for weeks, but with prices refusing to correct much, they've now started buying for the upcoming festive season. Oh man, they were waiting for good prices, then they're like, damn, this market's not moving. This market's not moving. Let's just get ready here for Diwali festival. When gold buying is considered auspicious, will be celebrated. Okay. Let's see. Gold's been stuck around 100,000 rupees for 3 months now. And it's quite interesting that they actually give a lot of news feeds here for the Indian market. Well, they are buying a lot of physical gold. I think it's quite nice though. You can always keep up with these things if you're because it's closely related to the culture as well. As you can see, they buy a lot of gold here for certain festivals, for weddings, that sort of thing. So, you know, by nature, it's like you kind of becoming a trader because your culture kind of forcing you to also kind of understand these things a bit. You know, it's good if you understand them, at least. Right now, the price action is the price is going up, and trust me, if those jewelers are waiting for price to come down for Diwali festival, they're in for a shock, you know, because price is gonna keep moving up. So it's better to just get into whatever gold that they want to buy. They should already be buying. They should have already been buying because of all the speculation towards the US dollar rate cuts. You know, it just makes sense. It makes sense. Dollar is gonna be weak. Might as well buy gold here at these lows. It's not gonna get any lower than this. You know, and now it's actually just in a distribution phase, so it's only gonna get higher at this point. So, you know, that's why I think the benefit is, honestly, of just understanding simple chart work, simple concepts like the FOMC and how the interest rates actually affect markets like gold. Because, you know, all your other buddies, they're going to be waiting for prices to come down, but you're going to know exactly what you need to be doing. Stocking up on gold like ASAP. Because this thing is going to, it's about to skyrocket. It's about a skyrocket. You see that trade we caught yesterday? That's what I was talking about. These are the buys that we've been anticipating. I was waiting for these buys. Look at this. Almost got stopped out here. I almost got stopped out here. It was off a consolidation breakout. And then price just skyrocketed. So this is what we're expecting from gold as of late. You know, we're just expecting prices to skyrocket. Yeah, we're expecting prices to skyrocket. Let's see. Experience every stage of futures contracts and paper trading. We got some new stuff over here from TradingView. Futures contract execution. We introduce a powerful update for futures traders. Enhanced paper trading capabilities for future contracts. Up until now, paper trading supported only essential actions like opening and closing futures trades, which has limited the ability to design and test long-term strategies. With this update, you can now simulate the entire life cycle of a futures contract, from execution and expiration to fees and balance charges. This makes testing so more accurate, realistic, and insightful. And there's so many backtesting softwares out there. Like honestly, backtesting is super important. But as long as you can backtest, like, that's the important thing. I honestly think FX does it pretty nicely. But I have never tried the TradingView and the other ones before, but you know, it's definitely enough. It's more than enough. I mean, what is really backtesting? You're just going back like this, and it would be nice to have that software that shows you, like, when you open and close positions like FX, and you can put your commissions and your spreads and all that stuff. So it's like already more than enough, and then you're just doing this. And you're just checking to see if your concepts hold like some kind of weight to them, especially at the times that you're trading. And then working on that forward testing game as well, just as important. Looks like we had some small corrective phases here. Price moved up towards resistance, bounced off 34.13. Pretty decent range over here this was. Got about, what's that, like 25 pips. That's our corrective phase here on that little also got a small little fake out situation that happened below here before price started breaking above resistance. To fill this range, left hand side. Alright, let's see, we got some more sells here, break and retest down towards support. See how that range here got filled up. I got another one right here. See how this range got filled up. Price moved up towards resistance, came down, continued to fill, I guess, whatever was left of this range down over here. Pretty nice profit taking reaction, created structure. Then you're just waiting because the next trade is just always around the corner, you see? Like literally, if you miss this one, the next trade was right here. If you miss that one, right here. If you miss that one, right here. If you miss this one, look at this one from here to here. See, if you miss this one, next trade is literally right here. Simple concepts just help you like stay more patient if you know what you're looking for. Your problem is if you don't know what you're looking for, then you know it's like harder to wait for these things. But you see, as of right now, nothing's set up. Maybe we just corrected a small little tiny range over here, but nothing is really set up. Yeah, at this point, nothing is set up. You got resistance. You just got the London open. As you got support. You got levels of support down over here. So I guess ideally what you'd want to see is some kind of movement from price. You probably want to see this thing like dump. Either dump or like move upwards, bullish. And then create you that range that now you can start looking for your opportunities like this again. These are like the best trades, you know, like you give them time to set up. It's not rushed and you can see it. And it's taking time to set up and then it sets up and it does what it needs to do. But you see, now you got to put yourself in a box because if you really want to trade, you kind of put yourself in this narrow area here and you're thinking, how can I get something here? See, but these are like the nicest trades. You got a lot more time to think about them as well. Yeah, definitely market needs to set up. It looks like you did a small little liquidity grab as well below here. A small little liquidity grab before price had moved bullish. Yeah, before we moved up. Today, 1W, 1 loss. Missed 2 setups on gold. Then took the bad trade on German 48. Damn. Then got a good one on gold. Yeah, I haven't taken any trades today. You don't take a trade today? Yeah, I haven't taken a trade today. I have not taken a trade today yet. You know, if something really interesting comes out of this, then maybe we could look at something. But right now, it's like since the market opened. So we got like basically Asia highs. There's a market open right here. But anyway, this is Asia highs. And we got Asia lows. Down over here. Down negative 0.18%. It could actually be accumulating to continue. It's a little bit suspect though, because if you look at the previous daily candle and the previous trend, it was quite bullish. Yesterday we were quite bullish. We're quite bullish. The problem is we're not yet trending again. Because after price moved up, you can see now it's retracing. It could be creating that daily bottom wick over here for price to move up later. So it is kind of suspect. Like if you see price start to come down like this, I feel like this would be some kind of a liquidity grab for an overall move back to the upside. So it'd actually be nice to see if price can move up. You know, look at this. Previous 3 days over here. Basically, the whole week, we've been bullish off that daily. Looking at the weekly is like coming up towards weekly resistance. But I still think it's got some room there to keep moving up on the daily. This weekly candlestick can still kind of move up here, I guess. It's a pretty important zone, however. Like, look at how perfectly price had rejected this area over here. Insane. 1, 2, 3, 4... And we're kind of coming up to this sort of supply zone. Definitely more than 65% of the range. Or just at 65% of the range. Super accurate. It is exactly 65 here by 34.22. And then it had that rejection. Look at that. Very accurate. even on the higher time frames. If we do get that rejection, sometimes it goes through it, obviously, and then fills up the full range. Do you think backtesting helps? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. We'll do backtesting simulation this weekend in the mentorship. I think it helps. So yeah, now it's just like waiting to see what Goldie does. Hey, good morning, tall trader. I caught the nice sell move in Asia. Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a good dump. Especially this little accumulation break right here. The price was barcoding and then started falling through nicely. It's a very clean barcode, that is. Also got a little liquidity grab confluence. I see it broke above the highs just by a little bit. Broke above the high. Small little liquidity grab here. And then you see what happens right after it does that. It's like, it's got the buyers here, giving them a whip immediately after it does that. Like literally immediately after it does that. I got bearish engulfing candlestick breaking out of the accumulation here to distribute. So that is what we call a shark. Because price doesn't need to go up there. It only went up there to trigger people. You know, there's like a difference. The difference between this being like some kind of entry, like a valid entry to move up, or it's just a liquidity grab. There was two really good ones on gold also about 1 hour ago. This was like, I'd say maybe this was definitely one of the cleanest. Let me see how this looked on the 1 minute. That Asia dump. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Got a look. You got a little bit of a fakey up above. Got a fakey up above. Little shotgun entry here. Boom, boom. Little risk management. Continuation. Support. I think so far pretty decent. Decent PA. At least it's the candles are a little bit spread out. You know, it's like more open. Have a little bit more open spaces. Now it's potentially creating some sort of buys over here. As candlesticks are coming down like this, probably create like some buy opportunities. All right, let's see where Bitcoin is finishing. Oh man, Bitcoin's taking a beating. It got whips on BTC. Negative 1.88% already on the daily. Weekly's coming down heavy. Man, look at the same liquidity grab. Same thing we spoke about on gold, on that distribution. See, it's like the same things are gonna happen slightly differently, but it's the same thing. See that accumulation? And then look at this little manipulation right here. Pretty much the same thing that happened here. Got some barcoding, little sideways movement, liquidity grab. These are usually really nice confluences though. Like if you see this happen and you got that and you got that counter bias, it's pretty nice to always get that as a additional confluence. Look at that. You see, it's not picture perfect. The market is not going to be picture perfect. So it's really important to just understand the concepts, right? Same thing, different market. Same thing, different market. That's why you see, like, when you build a strategy, you got to build a strategy, we say, with a good foundation. So, like, all markets can operate in a similar fashion. Like, in just like a basic way. Because this is just a basic way, you know. I think, like, this is the most basic way to look at PA. Like, I've not explained to you any strategies. Like, if you notice, I've not explained to you, like, any levels here on the left-hand side. Because I know a bunch of you guys watch these other traders who have, like, these zones, these really long zones going across the map. And you're wondering, how can I draw those same lines going across the map? You can't. You can't do it. It wouldn't be possible. Because every day is different PA. You know, every day is different PA. That's very subjective. You can never copy a trader who does that. It won't work. Trust me. That's why I'm saying like this is the most simple way, bare bone basics to understand this. Because the moment we start looking back and looking at these other levels and stuff, that's when you're gonna get confused. And when you're trading alone, you will not replicate that. So I think you know, that made the most sense. That made the most sense. This is a beautiful confluence that I love to use. Man, look at the way this thing is. Look at the way this thing is dumping right now. Just coming down heavy. Sheesh. People are unloading Bitcoin before the weekend hits. I thought gold wanted to go up. Yeah, gold wants to go up. I want to see gold move up. I'm very skeptical about any sort of sells. You see like this kind of nonsense? This is that shit that happened last week on Thursday. It comes super close to breaking out of the range. And then even maybe it breaks out of the range like pre-NY and then it'll start moving up. You know, because we got like a bullish bias here on gold. So I really doubt any breakout here is going to be valid because we're still waiting for core PCE. Plus, if you look at the daily for yourself, that thing is just moving up. So, man, I really doubt anything here is going to be a real breakout. So, we might start to see those pullbacks come in. Yeah, nah, not selling, lurking for buys too. Man, the moment you take a sell here and it starts pulling up like that, it's curtains. I think it's curtains for that trade. So, if you take like a sell, you kind of want a quick sell. If that thing starts to pull back on you, maybe you're going to close the trade. But, you know, what's the point anyway? What's the point even to take a position then? Oh, nice. Got away with, what is this? Quick little scalp. It's bouncing off the support level. Could be bouncing off the support. Doot. Bounce off that support. Maybe come back, retest the highs right there. And then this is that perfect John Wick environment where you're just getting the buyers at the bottom here. You're just looking for buys and then you got sellers at the top. Buyers at the bottom, sellers at the top. Buying the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip, guys. Buy the dip. Bitcoin. You know how crypto traders are like. Crypto traders always like, buy the dip, bro. Catching a falling knife like this. It's the dip. It's the dip. Then it'll just keep dipping. It'll dip again. And then you'll say, oh, damn. Maybe this is the dip here. This is the dip. And you know the worst part? The worst part is sometimes in the dip, what happens is accumulation. Okay, you're gonna accumulate, then you're like, okay, maybe I caught the dip. Maybe I caught the dip, and then one candlestick goes like that, manipulates, and then it starts to move up. Then it's like, damn, you did catch the dip, but you couldn't survive the manipulation. But that would be, I guess, that would be really. You need some pretty big stop losses to avoid that, I suppose. Really big stops. Because we've seen it before. We've seen how pesky the market can be when it wants to have its move, correct? We've all seen how pesky that the market can be. Loves to take people out. Man, it almost happened to me yesterday. You know, this is something that happens like quite often. So, you know, you got to pay attention to this. It almost happened to me yesterday, man. This market here, it tried to take us out before having this move. Look at this. It came so close. Man, I was like, no freaking way. I was like, no freaking way market is going to take me out. But you see, the thing is like, I knew there was so much exuberance for the buys that this trade, I felt very confident about this trade. Because of that just bullish exuberance. Like you see, like no indicator is going to tell you that's about to happen. But it's just like your experience. You know what tells you when something like this is about to happen? It's the timing. The timing and understanding the flow of price action on that day leading up to that position. And also understanding the macros driving the market. That's how you catch these moves. So that's why I knew this thing was going to bomb a clot. I made a video yesterday for it. I knew this thing was going to bomb a clot. That's why I was like, okay, you know what, man? If we start retracing here at this point, most likely you're going to survive this thing. This was like perfect. Because we've seen this happen before as well. It's not the first. This is not our first rodeo. Like price, you know, sometimes it doesn't do the shocky thing. And then if it wanted to be a real bitch, it would take this level out. But sometimes, you know, it does respect the structure like it's supposed to be respected, and then it doesn't break through. Because if it wanted to, it could. Like, you know, like, what is this? Maybe just an additional pip to at least break this wick. Maybe 0.5 pips just to break this wick. Y'all have seen the market. 0.5 pips is nothing for the market. You can have your take profit at 0.5 pips. That thing could reverse on you 100 pips if it wanted to. You know, so sometimes you get the shark, sometimes you don't get the shark. But, you know, for me, when price respects price action, that's like, for me, valid, you know. That's organic PA. But there's always a variable of having a shark. Shark will try and get you out. You know, just like, you know, the trade that we took on, what was it, Thursday? Man, we got that shark variable. The shark wanted to take that position out. Wait, this was on... Yeah, this was on this day. You see that? Like, took the sell. So close to hitting take profit. And then it does that little sharky behavior. If it wants to take you, it will take you. It will take you. You see, because that's where the entry models were. And then it came up just to take out those highs. So only just to take out those highs. Just so price can push down again. To hit the profit targets. Like that. So sometimes you get sharky in there, sometimes you don't, but you're always thinking from a perspective of where is the making the most sense for me to put my stop loss anyway, because you can't control the shark. You know, the problem with the shark is it's the shark that makes you extend your stop loss. So, you know, looking back at it, in year one, I always used to extend my stop loss, not knowing that the difference between the liquidity grabs and just normal PA. So I used to think my stop was always a problem. So you'd always like adjust. And because if you adjust the stop loss, what happens is this also gets affected. The profit gets affected. So, you know, if you're adjusting to avoid here, it's going to get you up here. Because you're pushing this down, but extending this. So more time you're in the market with this, it's also going to have a chance to come in reverse and mess with you psychologically. Maybe break evens, maybe a bit of drawdown again. So you see, that's why you got to understand PA. If you don't understand PA, you're going to be like a feather in the wind in the market. And it's just going to blow you around. If you don't understand like really what's going on, you will always feel that you're doing something wrong. And you can never adjust something to be like, to avoid every single thing. You can't avoid every single thing. So that's the trap. And but look at this. It's breaking below the Asia lows here now. 34.06. It touched the Asia lows now. Yes, sir. Damn, that's a good investment. Still holding. Oh, that word is on the naughty list. $34.04 possible scenario long. 34.04. Buying the dip. Are we buying the dip? 34.04. I would say like if it comes down to 33.04, just wait for price to create your structure first. And then maybe then you can take your long. But if you just buy when price is going against you, then, you know, that's your own strategy. I don't do that.
We don't do that here.
Man, I never go against, like, if price is coming down, the last thing I'm thinking about, especially if it's coming down with candlesticks just one after the other, the last thing I'm thinking about is taking a buy. You know, so it really depends on how you look at markets. Maybe you trade like this. Maybe you wait for candles to come down to support area, because I think, you know, some people are going to be looking at buys over here, putting the stop loss maybe somewhere around here, expecting that it comes and retests back into the range. You know, but I don't do that. I don't like this idea here. I learned that the hard way. When I used to trade the pre-London times, man, and GJ used to trade, sometimes we would get these crazy breakouts and GJ would just trend. And I would just constantly try and get the opposite of the trend, and it just kept hitting me. And then also with the Fibonacci's. Also, you know, with the Fibonacci's, it kept happening to me as well. Like every time I would be buying against like markets moving in that opposite direction, then I'll always get hit. But when it works, right? When it works, and it feels pretty good. 4 hour imbalance. Is there? 4 hour candles? Man, the 4 hour looks bearish though. Created a support, little doji bullish candlestick, clean range. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking below that support, breaking below the wicks. Got that 8 SMA though. Needs to get through 8 SMA. Can it break? Will it break support? Is it gonna break out of the gulag here? It's got that little what is that? The 50? Oh no, that's an 8. That's an 8 SMA on top of that hourly candlestick. And you just got a 30 closure below support over there. You got another little support area right here though. On the 30 it'd be nicer to get through this support if you're basing a trade off 30 minute. Or at least this 30 range over here to get corrected. About like 75 pips. Yeah, it's about like 75 pips. Also 15 minute looks good. Looks just about the same actually. This range from here to here, clean traffic. But I'm very skeptical about these cells. Also, it's pretty big range. So let's draw back our support. And that's our resistance. You're looking at 3400 today? Oh yeah, let's see it. 3400, where are we? Because this was a psychological mark from yesterday at 3400. So we started breaking here. Like you see, this is New York time really. We had the pre-NY push and then came down, and then New York session took it away. Took it above towards, what did we hit? 3422. So you're looking at 3400 back. That's definitely a psychological mark. Especially there for the weekly time frame. 100%. But I think the weekly would want to stay above that level though, to be honest. To be fair, you know, with everything that's going on right now, I think if we close above 3400, that seems like more realistic than rejecting it. On the weekly closure, price would need to keep dumping here another 63 pips to hit 3400. I mean, we could see it, but I would really anticipate closing above it. Maybe this would be like a small little break and a retest situation like that. See, we're kind of at these crazy peaks at the moment, you know? Crazy peaks. Looks so weird. I've never seen like PA like this in my almost 6 years trading. I don't think I've ever seen PA like this. Looks funny. Especially those sellers, man. Those sellers that came in heavy. They're like pushing price over here. Oh, coming in again. Some little small volatility on gold. Man, these sellers, they came in heavy here at these highs. So is this high enough? Is this high enough? Because, you know, we still have time to September 17th. So it's quite an important area, actually. Because we still have a lot of time till September 17th. I wonder if the bullish exuberance just continues to follow through up until September 17th. Like if we find ourselves basically trading all the way up over here. Or whether that was just a move back up to the top of the range. Because, you know, like market is just consolidating nonetheless. You have support here and you got resistance here. So it could have just been a reaction also to the top of the range. And then you see it retrace a bit more. So now it's like the moment of truth to see what the market really does here. How it reacts off these key levels. As we still have about 2.5 more weeks until the USD rate cuts and the FOMC kicks in. But I still hold my bullish bias for sure on gold. If it bounced from here, is a fake out for the bullish move. Waiting. Oh, I think you're going to miss it. 0.6 pips. Come on, Goldie. Fake him out. Fake him out. You know you don't trend, Goldie. Come on. Stop pretending like you're about to trend right now, Gold. We both know you don't trend during this time. Get back in the range. Get back in the range, Goldie. We both know you're not about to start trending right now. Jeez, look at the size of this owly candle on BTC. This owly is about to close here in like 21 minutes. Oh, late. Support. Got support, resistance. Man, Bitcoin, pretty rough week for Bitcoin. Damn, is that the lows for London? For me now, it's going to work its way up. Could be. Could be a classic little V-shaped reversal back in. Got this whole entire range here. That's about like 35 pips. Bump it up. I think I might take like one trade today for Freaky Friday to end off the month. You know, a pretty good month. Pretty good month so far. I might take one more trade. Hopefully it's going to be a buy position. And then we can wrap up August. As we head over to September. And I think September... Man, September should be really good. I don't know how much better, but definitely a lot more opportunities I'm expecting. Maybe P&L will be roughly the same percentage-wise if I'm not holding my trades. But in terms of just the volume and seeing more of the follow-throughs, I think September should be having a lot more of those follow-throughs too. So let's see. Today, BTC USDT might close negative 3%. Oh, man, it's, yeah, I mean, even Bitcoin is down 2.16% already. This thing could definitely see 3%. On Freaky Friday. And that daily on gold, man, this thing could start skyrocketing anytime. But you see how funny the market is. Look at this. After our trade yesterday, it gets such a beautiful skyrocket, but then it still had to come down. You know, it still had to come down because there were people in here. You know, there were people in here. And then it tested once. Usually, I guess now for the actual move, it's after the first fake out. So it needs that liquidity. It needs to take everybody out. And you know, it's like when you start watching the market from this perspective, you really start to understand it a bit more. You know, you don't play victim anymore and you do understand it a bit more, and you understand the importance of being cynical about the market, because you're going to see this happen to you a lot. And then when it happens, you really start to question things. You really start to wonder, like, do buyers and sellers really move these markets? Is it just, you know, okay, they move the market, but at the same time, you know, it's like the market can do what it wants. You know, at the same time, it can do what it wants. So, you know, this could all just be like, of course, sellers and buyers, but at the same time, it can do whatever it wants. And then you wonder, like, who governs that? Who makes it like this? So accurate, you know, it's so efficient. Like, the market is so efficient, guys. So efficient that you're wondering, like, is it a single big player, or like, you know, but why is it also so consistent like that? You really go down the rabbit hole if you want. But I guess it's a nice way to think about it anyway, because then you kind of understand your enemy a bit better. You see like situations like this as well. It's like these are like variables basically. For me, I look at this like things that shouldn't even happen. If we're just looking at PA and it was a fair environment, I don't even think that's necessary to have these liquidity grabs. But you know, now if you start talking about institutions and how they trade and how they trap people, then I guess in that scenario, I guess it kind of makes sense. If you really try and make sense of this. Because not everybody can trade the way we trade as well and waiting for confirmations like this. Because the market makers need to move the market and also create liquidity, create orders, and then to facilitate such flow of PA as well. Because maybe it can't move up if you don't trigger the sellers in. Because price can only move up if the people are selling. You know, it can only move up if people are selling. If people are not selling, it needs to create that liquidity before it makes that move. So I guess you could make it make sense like that. But still, you know, figuring out the market, you will never figure out the market. That's one thing. You know, for me, I focus on my strategy, but you will never figure the market out. You know, you'll have all these theories and you'll have all your confluences, your volume profiles. You try to figure it out, volume, you know, and all that stuff, but you're never going to figure it out. You're never going to figure it out. So I think the best thing to do is just find a system that you can replicate, follow that system, and then, you know, forget about the boogeyman. Because the boogeyman's not going to help you. This 4 hour will be the killer after this fake out for the move up. Yeah, no, this is the fakey we're expecting over here. That classic PA on London. A little fakey over here. Break below support. Back into the range. The accumulation breakout confluence over here. Broke below support area, accumulated a little reversal signal over here as it broke above the highs for that distribution. Another bit of confluence. That's a nice way of using that confluence. So you see how we anticipated this? That this was going to be a fake out based off of the time that we trade, and we know that price is not about a trend right now, especially the core PCE. How you can avoid certain fakies like this. Because look, if price moved, okay, you know, fine, price moved. But at the same time, I think there's just a probability that price was not going to move. It was like a higher probability that price was not going to move. So, you know, you couple all of that together and then you get a pretty good move. A pretty nice trade like this. That's one way of using liquidity grab and timing to your advantage. Just the same way if, you know, you so happen to see something like that happen before you get into your sells. Little liquidity grab taken below above the highs. And you're like, okay, nice. Nice. You know, I got my liquidity grab. Maybe you didn't get your entry confirmation even. But it does liquidity grab, and then you say, okay, so if price comes down, this is most likely showing me now the direction. So, you know, those are like two ways that you can look at anticipating reversals. So yeah, this was pretty nice over here, especially with that reversal confirmation when we broke below support to consolidate. And you can see it's a clean distribution as well. So it does look like that was the accumulation right over here, and then that was the distribution above. You can see it, beautiful, clean, very nice. Clean distribution. What's this? INFORMATIONAL. What platform is this? Is this like Top Step or something? What platform is this? Something that looks like this. This Top Step? Or what do you call it? Cheeky swing on pre-London. Beautiful way to end the trading week. Oh, cheeky little sell-off. Okay. Nice. Let's go real elite. What looked like a fake out. Waited for the highs to get broken. SMA was in confluence. Bottom of the range. TP hit. Oh yeah, that was a nice move. This is the one we broke down as well. That's the one we broke down here. Beautiful. We got another bumper clot here. A little bit of a swing entry model to the upside. Secure what, 65%? Very nice. The platform is Project X. Really? Oh, Project X, like the movie Project X. Man, I threw a Project X once. You know, when that movie came out, I had a friend who was leaving to Germany, and we boarded a house for a Project X party. Man, it was insane. It was insane. It was a true Project X party. Man, the dad ended up coming back like early. I don't know how he ended up coming back. Apparently he got punched in the face by somebody. Those are wild times. Yeah, but that movie Project X is actually based off of this kid in Australia who actually did it. There's a dude from Australia. This is how the guy looks. He actually looks like he would throw Project X. From Melbourne. Man, man's got a nipple piercing. Yeah, that movie seriously did a lot of damage, man. When that movie came out, there were so many people who were trying to emulate, and you know that was a different time, man. These were the years. I feel like nowadays people are also like really cautious about social media appearances, and you know, if you go to the clubs, people are not really jamming as much. They're a lot more like cautious about things. Awesome movie. Okay, so it's called Project X. Second funded. My strategy is different to yours. Am I allowed to put on? Yeah, you can definitely put your setups in here. Even if you trade like a different strategy, just put your setups in. Jeez, this thing is skyrocketing. We wanna party. Yeah. They're actually doing a Project X2, by the way. I saw a trailer the other day, and was the longest ad that I actually... This was basically an ad for Project X2. It was basically an ad. This is the first time ever that I watched a full ad, but it was done so nicely. And it was so like random. It was so random. Look at this. It's just by a random channel. It's a random ass channel called Project X Dose. And it actually has the guys from Project X. He got about like 1 million views. And it's like a 10 minute 30-second ad basically of the guy going around Coster. It's like Costa in real life. And he's going around recruiting basically everybody. There's his buddy here working at I think Taco Bell or something. Then he goes to the studios. He actually goes to the studios, talks to all the cast members over here. Yeah, look at this. This is the craziest part though. Freaking Miles Teller goes up to Miles Teller as well. Tells him about Project X2. Man, this is like the most awesome ad. Super creative. Back into the gulag we go. Imagine your kid at a party when you was away and one of his friends punched you. When you got back, yeah. Someone is dying that day. After UJ and GU confirmed a little momentum, just finished some pips from Love Volume bottom range. Yeah, this is definitely John Wick. Because if you go on the 15-minute, let's go on a higher time frame to get a wick. Yeah, you see, you get those wicks. See how it's starting to wick around like this? And no real commitment. Just gonna range heavy. These owlies can be so nasty. So if you look at basically PA here, this is on Friday. Look at the way this looks, right? Look at the way this looks. And then we can take you to this day. This was on Tuesday. So it's a similar situation that now we're in. We're in this similar situation again. So it's like the market will repeat itself over and over again. You get leverage off these types of scenarios. Then it starts to break out more towards like, again, pre-NY New York. Well, okay, the breakout here was actually late. This was 10 a.m. This was like 2 hours into New York. But yeah, that was a full-on breakout over here. So you can expect something similar to happen like on a day like this. It's gonna range. But it might come in a bit later into New York because I think it might possibly be waiting for core PC price index. So we might see the breakout happen like a little bit later. Maybe around that same time as Tuesday. Barcoding not been the cleanest week. Yeah, barcodes. A lot of anticipation. You see, like, this is why London has been like this. It's because of so much anticipation leading towards the USD rate cuts that London has just been waiting always for like some kind of news that's coming out during the New York time. Oh, morning Vic, not on Zoom today. Not trading, just listening to the words of wisdom. Let's go, Luke. I see you in there, in the gulag. Yeah, today I might take one trade. I might take one trade today. We'll see. Just secured my run of 50%. Now I'm nearly 2% up. Not executing now unless the juiciest setup comes. Nice plan, sir. We wanna party. Man, that night we threw the Project X party, I think we made like roughly around $1,000 something. $1,000 something, charging like entry fees and all of that stuff. $1,000 something. And then my buddy, he's not the smartest of guys. He lost the money. Well, it seemed like he lost, he lost the money. He lost the money. But it seemed like he would lose the money. He's the type of guy who does really dumb stuff, It's like you always got that one buddy who you can't put anything past him, like. So he's the type of guy to actually lose things like that or make really, really dumb ideas. But yeah, it was the first time, man, actually making some serious bread. That was my first like proper business profits ever. Serious whips though. It was a lot of money. In this market condition, Asia dump, London sweep Asia lows, then going up. Yep, exactly. Like sweep of the Asia lows and then price moves up. Real classic PA happening today. That's how I said, like, most of the trades are going to happen within this range, it seems. It's like now become a 90 pip range. And that's such a brutal distribution as well. You can just tell people got whipped here. Just look at the way, like, imagine taking a sell. Because the 4 hour looks good. 4 hour was looking good. Look at now how the 4 hour looks. It's reflipped back up. And the way it's rushing up, it looks like people definitely got some whips. Take a sell and then you get that quick because when it's a fake out, man, it happens so quickly. It's like literally just going up against you like this. Literally, this 1 minute candlesticks just keep moving up. They just keep moving up and up and up and up. Trying to take him out. It's come pretty close. I don't know if it probably took them out here. But it came right at that wick. Probably took them out. This is the thing now people start crying about. Because they usually see something like this happen. And then they're like, no, this is a fake out. Oh man, now I got to get back in because that spread. The spread got me out. And then you start playing the victim. And then you're going to do this again. You're going to take that sell. And then it just comes back up there. Man, that's the worst way to ever go. That's why if you're going to use like a stop loss, I think the best thing is always to monitor how price behaves in that area before you close the trade. This is where people really start playing the victim. And you know, the market knows this. You're going to see this happen over and over again. So that's why I say better be a warrior in a garden than a garden and a war. Because you got to always be prepared for these tricks. You always got, man, like when we took this trade, like my mindset was shifting to this thing is about to do some real Judas. So I got to pay real close attention to how it behaves over here. Because you're already expecting those similar behaviors from the market. 2 buys on gold this morning, holding out as I believe price will go higher. Oh, you caught the fakie. Nice one, man. You got second entry. Oh, it's 2 minute entry. Beautiful. Yeah, that volume really came in. Really came in for you. And you got like clean range. You got that fake out confluence. Basically trading, swimming with the sharks on that one. Because the shark was trying to take out the sellers here. That was very nice. You caught. It's like catching a nice wave, eh? It's like you caught a nice wave. That it's just going. You just got it perfectly here. Right side of the market. You're in tune with the market. But you see how you could have been in tune with the market? Remember how we broke down this level? Expecting the fake out and everything? Just like you caught really nice move. In this market condition, the Ellie on Discord. Let's see fundamentals. Gold holds close to 5-week high. Gold hovered around 34.10 per ounce on Friday, near its highest level in over a month, and was on track for a second consecutive weekly gain, sustained by a softer US dollar and safe haven demand. The metal continued to draw support as investors sought refuge amid uncertainty over US monetary policy. Let's see. Concerns that political pressure on the Federal Reserve could accelerate interest rate cuts have bolstered prices, with markets largely pricing in 25 basis point cut reduction in September. See what Fed Governor Christopher Waller says also signals support for starting rate cuts next month, saying he fully expects further reductions to bring policy closer to neutral, echoing the stance of his colleagues. Yeah, everybody seems to be on the same page. Meanwhile, investors are focusing on the U.S. personal consumption report later today. So that's the core PCE, which is forecasted to accelerate the following revised data showing the U.S. economy grew slightly faster in Q2, raising inflation concerns. For the month, gold is poised for its best performance since April. Here we go. That means we got the big players in. Best performance since April. As we're coming closer to September, seems like we got the big players in. Because, you know, it can't have best performance without somebody moving the price. And, you know, they gotta already start pricing in. The views expressed are his own, no information. Okay. Small little disclaimer over there. Possible shotgun for 30 minute. Shotgun, but within the range. It's like you also got some wicks over here. Small little resistance. This barcoding, man. This thing on the higher time frame is gonna look real nasty soon. Because I don't believe these hourly candles are gonna go anywhere. It is looking quite nice if you're looking at just an hourly in terms of liquidity grab. Over here, candlestick did liquidity grab, close above resistance. Because in the hourly, it still has a little bit more room to move up, but not that much. It's still a very tricky zone. Yeah, the 1 hour looks kind of nice. But when the problem is like when markets are ranging, it's like you never know whether that's a signal for continuation or it's just gonna do this again. When markets are already ranging like this. Let's see if the volume can follow through since previous day's PA. I guess that's what people would be looking at to kind of create a reason for why price should move up. They could say something like this. That price, you know, has been previously moving bullish. Lows of momentum. A little fake out below support. A little fake out, liquidity grab. And then maybe they're going to use this as a reason. Right here as to why price should keep moving up bullish. But just based from what I've seen from the London sessions, without even complicating that much, I usually expect it just to range. Such a beautiful distribution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish candles in a row. Still moving up here. You see, it properly took out the highs now this time. It's a pretty nice trick that the market uses. Because I used to fall victim to this trick, so now I kind of better understand it. Like how this used to happen to me, and then I always get back in thinking like, oh, okay, maybe that's just like a situation I was getting taken out too early, and then get back in to get taken out again. You gotta know this, you know. That's why XP, man, XP is super important. You gotta put in that XP. Just like when you're playing a game, you gotta put in that XP. You gotta get some experience points. You get the experience points, then you get like actually better at the game. So you know how to deal with psychology a lot better. This is why I meant psychology. This is why they say psychology is important. You know, because the more you start to see certain things like that happen over and over again, you're going to get a stronger, better psychology. And those days, you know, they make a big difference to your P&L. Like these small days. Because in a month, man, we got like 25 trading days in a month. And the thing is, that's a lot of days to mess up with psychology. So you want to try to get your psychology up maybe like 90%. You know, you will make mistakes every now and then. But at least if you're hovering above 90% and you're actually having meaningful trades, like every single trade is meaningful, and you're not revenge trading and you're understanding these things, then I think it will definitely make some kind of a difference. You can reduce the amount of back-to-back unnecessary losses like this. You can reduce it, and you can increase the winnings as well. So the thing is, like when you take a losing trade, it's kind of like a big stain. It's like a small stain on your spreadsheet because you want it to look more clean, correct? You'd ideally want to have more W's. So you want to reduce as much of these stains as possible. And the ways that I personally do it is by sticking to 1 or 2 trades a day. 1 or 2 trades a day. Making sure that these trades are making sense. You know, they're making sense. It has to make sense to you. And that's it. Like, what is that panel you're using to draw? Oh, this is called you gotta get this at the wand store. You're gonna get this like a wand. You know, this is like my wand. Like in Harry Potter, you gotta go to Hogsmeade and you gotta get a wand like this. So you gotta go and talk to that guy. Let's see here. What else can my wand do? You know, this thing could do sparkles at one point. I could do sparkles. Not anymore. Oh, is that a trading view feature? I think it was on trading view. There was one time you could do sparkles. I think it was a trading view feature. Must have been like some kind of anniversary feature. Hey Vic, I lost your SMA. Where can I get them? You can get them here on the Discord if you go to SMA indicator, or just get it on the description box below. But yeah, this is, just click on the link and then add to favorites and you should be good to go. Man, I'm so glad I found this channel. It's been a whole learning platform for me. Thanks a lot, Vic. Discipline, psychology, all these I've learned the hard way from your guidance. Let's go, Ruben. Appreciate it, sir. Yeah, glad to have you on this channel. Hey, Vic. Let's see. Big up. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, I'm late. Did I miss anything? Nah, like price is just ranging. There was just that one little fake out situation that happened down here. That's it. It's just been consolidating. It's probably going to do this until 6 a.m. Eastern. Right now, it's like 4 a.m. So in the next two hours or so, you're going to have price have a higher probability to have a breakout. So it's going to be a similar thing like yesterday's trade. You know, as we're approaching 6 a.m., they're going to have a higher probability. So remember, chat, I said I'm leaving off stream as price was moving down. So I left off stream. I went, I did something else for a bit. I came back. I saw price was not moved yet. So we got our entries and then we just took them. Because now I know, like, within this whole bubble over here, there's a higher chance that the breakout's going to come within that time. And that was a move. So it might be a similar thing. I was kind of hoping that price would already start moving though today. But you see, we're down 0.10%. 0.10%. No real direction. Remember, guys, it's Friday. Don't overtrade. Relax. It's a Friday. Don't ruin it. If you're gonna take a trade, man, stick to like one trade today. Gold futures on track to end the week higher on increased rate cut bets. You see, man, if I want to take a trade, I just want to catch a buy. Because, you know, if gold is moving up, weekly is moving up, we're on track to close the week higher, I would love to catch a buy. Gold futures inch lower but are on track. Mounting expectations, same thing. You see, futures are down 0.10% at 34.70 a troy ounce, but are up 1.5% on the week. The precious metal has continued to gain after Federal Reserve Chair. Yep, same thing. Symposium last week in which he cautiously opened the door to easing monetary policy. I love the way Powell also mentioned that it's not driven by any politics. It has nothing to do with political pressures. As it might seem like that. The latest US economic data has made the picture more complex and could temper gold's rally, though geopolitical instability continues to support safe haven demand for bullion. Hourly is looking still pretty nice, pretty juicy there. That liquidity grab to move up, but the timing is wrong. That's the only thing about it. Man, if this happened like a bit later on, I think this would have a better chance of distributing. But I truly believe it's gonna wait for core PC before any true moves. You overtrade today, but overall W, Freaky Friday. Time to break again. One trade not possible for me. I'm on 15 so far, catching greens. Oh, sorry, sir. I did not know that you are such a beast. 15 trades so far, catching greens. Apologies. David Malik, thank you for the sub. Sorry, I did not know I was in the presence of such greatness. Kindly forgive me, HMZ. Yeah, but that's crazy. Because if you look at if you look at price, overall we haven't had like a, we only had the sell-off here during the Asia. During the Asia, and then we just broke into this range. So just overall, I would say it's not like a giving a lot of clean cut positions, as if price was just moving up like this. Most people are going to be willing to like execute, scale in, execute, scale in, because price is in some kind of momentum. Man, that 1 hour looks like it wants to move up, but I feel like that's going to be a fake move. We're still by, you know, as long as it's still by here 30, 34, 15, it still has a lot of speed bumps to get through. It can go to the top of the range. This is still within the range. Unless it starts to break out, and then maybe you have like a break and a retest, something like this, and then keep moving up. Man's that daily is about to flip as well. Let's see, where's the... Yeah, by 34.15, that's when the daily is gonna flip. Scalps quick in and out, riding the 21 EMA. Oh, okay. In and out strategy. Yeah, I don't like so many trades like that, because I was thinking when you're jumping into the market, it's like you're opening yourself up to risk. So I like to reduce that as much as possible. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Do I trade the futures market? No, but it's like the same thing anyway. Let's see, where's futures currently sitting at? Got 34.71. Gold is at what, 34.14. I have a 100% hit rate strategy for futures though. See, just take a buy. Don't worry, it's gonna play out. Again, we can come back to this. Alright, let's see. 30-minute. Man, this thing's not going anywhere. It looks like it wants to go somewhere, but I doubt it's coming. It's most likely gonna look to correct. It's gonna look to correct the range. This range. Oh, look at that drawdown. Yeah, I think I'm gonna scale in here. Oh, I'm gonna adjust my stop loss. Oh no, that's coming down to heavy. Oh, okay. No, sorry, my bad. Stop loss was placed in the wrong area. It needs to be down here. Maybe one more for good measure. I haven't taken my first trade of the week, no setups. Only today have I seen GJ react off a level. Now wait for a setup. I'll only put my capital at risk when price has come to you. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Just let price come to you. Just let it come to you. Those are the best trades. Just be patient. Because it's right around the corner. You know, the thing is about gold here is you've already made, from my perspective, there's been maybe like 2 moves. There's been 2 moves. Actually, like 3 moves. There's been 3 moves. There's been so far. There's this sell-off of buy right here. There's another nice little breaky over here as well. And this actually kept distributing. There's one here as well. So basically what this is, price accumulated, broke, accumulated, broke, accumulated, broke. Came down, deep retracement, but still moving up. So far, like about possible like 3 entries. So even if you missed this move, had this option. But remember we talked about that third option sometimes can be a bit sketchy. But it looks like this one still played out. You got like 1, 2, 3 for price to keep moving there. See, it's getting more and more sketchy the more it's coming up like this. So I think price is actually due for a retracement. Probably looking to break below 34.14 and then continue to fill, maybe come back down to the range area over here. See how my position is doing. Ooh. As you call that, fake out on the 15? Yeah, fake out 15. It's not gonna, like, the time is wrong. The time is just wrong for this thing to move right now. I just don't see a reason. So yeah, definitely got a 15-minute over here. You got a bit of a fakey situation. About 34.13. Boom. Retested the top of the range down the 5-minute. It's now pulling down again. Look at this little bearish engulfing candlestick. Man, crazy close without the bottom wick though. No bottom wick over there. But still, I think it makes sense for it to come back in the range. Gold is hot. Didn't take it from the top, but looked good. I think my month is close. Oh, you think this is it? This was, yeah, you're ending the month here. How did I end the month last month? Oh, we ended with a W. We ended with a W on Thursday. Yeah, it's beautiful little engulfing candle, broke below support. It's likely looking to come down, fill up some of the range. Okay, price starting to move up here. Yeah, this thing did not move any further than this. I believe that's the Asia session. This is that Asia session consolidation right here. It looks a bit weird. Is it this one up here? It doesn't look exactly the same. Futures had a really nice little breakout situation that happened here though. Look at that. Oh man, that's beautiful. That looks so textbook. Market moved down, consolidated, broke above, filled the range on the left-hand side. Man, that looks so textbook. Look how clean this is. It even respected the lows to the T. How many candlesticks came down? But it never broke the low. It just respected this area to the T. Yeah, that would be it. See, 100% strategy futures. %100% win rate. TP smashed. Where can I get day in the life? Oh, day in the life? We don't have a day in the life yet. Day in the life of a forex trader. Wake out of bed. Eat some oatmeal, some oats. Actually, not even. Get out of bed, straight to the charts. No time for meditation, no time for stretching, none of that. Right out of bed, straight onto the charts. And hopefully the market gives me the entry like as soon as possible, because sometimes sometimes it takes the whole time shortly before stream starts, sometimes as well, sometimes like super early. And hopefully you get it early enough that you can go back to bed so you can wake up fresh for the next session. And then you trade the next session. There's a London session, and then after this you're gonna go eat something. And then you're going to come back for pre-NY, trade the pre-NY. And then once pre-NY is done, now you can go to the gym or you can go meet up with a friend. You know, you go to the gym or you can meet up with a friend. Or you can play some video games. Or play some video games. I think that's day in the life for me. I love the day in the life videos of the traders who make it seem like they're buying Rolex and new cars every day. And they call it's called a day in a life, and they're going to a car dealership and they're buying Rolexes. Yeah, just casual day in a life. Just buying a Bugatti. Yeah, I do this every day. Get out of bed, straight to drawdown, dump it. Yeah, I mean like trading is a hard endeavor because you're gonna wake up some days, you're gonna wake up to a loss. You're gonna wake up to losing trades. Man, I always used to wake up to losing trades. In year one, every morning I used to wake up to losing trades. Always losing trades. So you kind of find it funny at some point. You know, let me show you exactly how it feels once you start to get humbled. Let me see if I can find the scene. This is exactly how you're gonna feel. This is how I used to feel. Like every day, put it in the work. Showing up to the market. Wait, where's that funny scene? Like this is you, right? This is you right now. This is how you feel. Because you take it so serious. And it's like, oh man, you know, I'm really trying to make this work. And it keeps happening over. It's like the market's laughing at you. And you just gotta buckle in. You just gotta enjoy it, you know? You gotta laugh with the market. You're taking all these trades, getting faked out all the time. There's nothing to do but just laugh with the market. And then like now your relationship changes. You see, now your relationship changes. So from this, you start to understand the market and you're just like, oh, you bastard. So I see what you've been doing this whole time. Okay. So now that's when your psychology starts to shift a bit more. That's when you stop playing the victim. That's when you stop taking things so personal, and you actually are more willing to learn. You know, at that point, you're a little bit more flexible, because you know, if you're too strict and you can't bend, you're gonna break. You know, some people they break, some people they focus under pressure. So you gotta get to a point where you're not gonna break anymore. A lot of people break. You know, you gotta change your perspective. That's why for me, man, when I take a trade on stream, if it's a losing or winning trade, I still think it's a good trade. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to play the victim? You can't do it, because, you know, the market, it behaves like this. Sometimes you get winning trades, sometimes you get losing trades. You can't always anticipate when the winning trade is going to come. You just kind of have to believe in your rules, believe in your system, and just keep putting in the work every single day, because you can't anticipate when the next winning streak is coming, when the next losing streak is coming. But that's why you have your data, and you know, you just keep executing over time. Even when things get hard, man, like some months, sometimes the market can be really difficult. Let me see. I think, was it this month? Yeah, this month. The beginning of this month was kind of difficult. I felt like there was a lot of like fake out situations. So you just keep trusting your system, you keep going, and then eventually, you know, it starts to open up again. Yeah, I just gotta laugh at the market. You know, like the sellers who took a sell over here, they just gotta laugh at the market, because they're like, damn, I took a sell. I did not even see 10 pips in profit, but this thing went up like 80, 70 pips in drawdown, like back-to-back candlesticks. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, freaking 80 pips in drawdown. And it's like the same thing that happened also. Remember this trade? What was this? This was on Tuesday. Man, instead of giving me 0.3 pips so I can at least secure something, it decided to move in the opposite direction, 32 pips. And at that point, you just gotta laugh with it. Hey, Kelvin, thank you for the sub. Oh. What is this trickery here? Got about 30 minutes until the next hourly open. I guess in terms of that shotgun, it did kind of play out slightly. Pushed up about like 22 pips. But the problem is, where would you put your stop loss? Put it below this candle, pretty big stop loss. It's like 0.32. Unless the candlestick first created a bottom wick. That's the only way I see that playing out, is if that 30-minute first created a bottom wick and then you execute as it re-breaks its highs. But definitely still gonna struggle here with these speed bumps on the left-hand side. What could be possible on news today? Anything. That's why news is like gambling, you know? Anything can be possible on news. But what we're expecting, because you see the numbers here are like 0.3. So it's like neutral. We're expecting neutral numbers. So don't really have too much of a sentimental bias on the core PCE for the day. But you know, if we get something greater than 0.3%, then that's going to be good for the dollar and bearish for gold. If we get below 0.3%, then we're going to see gold move up. That's going to be like 30 minutes into New York. I think you're the only streamer who most teaches psychology, not like others who sells dreams. Yeah, I try my best, Kraken. Because, you know, I know that most people, the deep down, are having the same challenges. You know, sometimes maybe they don't want to admit it to themselves, but deep down, they're having the same challenges. So even if I can make one person feel like, you know, it's not them, they're alone in this, that everybody feels the same way, then I think that helps a lot. Because, you know, at the same time, you're going to look at these other guys, and these guys seem like they almost don't deal with those problems, correct? But everybody still deals with those problems, like on all levels, even like very high institutional levels. Everyone still deals with like similar problems like that. It's just because of human nature. So it's good to speak about it. So you always feel like, man, if this guy also feels like that, then, you know, I think it's like normal. It's normal, and I just gotta work my way to getting better at that as well. Because let's face it, man, you gotta take a loss. Nobody likes to lose. You know, is there a single guy out there who's gonna take a loss and be okay and feel completely okay with taking the loss? Nobody likes to lose. You always, the most important thing is like, how do you react to the loss? That differentiates you from a gambler and a disciplined trader, is how do you react to the loss? You ever seen people when they lose, man, they tilt. They tilt, and discipline, man, goes out the window at that point. Goes out the window. You completely forget about all your rules that you set for yourself, and you start breaking your rules. So now that's a moment that differentiates you from a disciplined trader and a gambler. Is that exact time you're going to take a trade and you're going to lose a trade, and how you're going to react. So what I typically do to help me with that is I would trade pre-London, one trade, and then maybe London session, another trade, then pre-NY, another trade. That's so because I know like for the rest of the day, I've spread out my trades. So all I got to do is wait. And in that process of waiting, you get comfortable. Like your meter right now is like all the way up over here. So your anger meter, your tilt meter is all the way up over here. But if you give yourself like such a rule like this, then obviously that meter now, it can go downwards. It can reduce with time. So when you come back onto the chart, you know, it's like down over here. You're back at square one psychologically. Like, you know how you started off the trading session? You started off the trading session like, let's say down over here. So you're back there. Take a loss, just cool off for a bit. Then you'll be able to think again. Because a lot of the time you're going to take your first trade. First trade is always the best trade. Then it's always when you take that second losing trade and you start messing it up from that point. You know, but your first trade, even if it's a losing trade, it can set the tone for the rest of your day. So if you're going to take a back-to-back, man, that's going to really set the tone for the rest of your day. You know, like imagine I take a trade in pre-London. Let's say we lose a trade. And then I take another trade in pre-London. Let's say we got 2 back-to-back losses. That's going to set the tone for the rest of the day. You know, and you're going to have a lot more time, and you're going to feel like trading more because you have more time. You know, at that point, you can end up even losing like a lot more on that day. If you just spread it out, 1, 1, 1. And it's not that hard. You don't need a magical app that's going to lock you out of MetaTrader. You don't need motos, any sort of motos or anything like that. All you need is discipline. It's not that hard to not trade. Just don't do it. You know, just don't do it. Come back the next time. Because there might be a shock. You know, you might be trading in an area where it's just like complete garbage. And nothing you're going to do is going to make you win. Really good advice. A lot of traders end up treating trading like, being a casino. In Jiu-Jitsu, we say you either win or you learn. So true in life and trading too. Yes, sir. No such thing as losses, man. You're always gonna win or learn. The important thing is you're learning. Because if you're not learning, then you're operating too much in autopilot. And the problem with autopilot is there's no growth really in autopilot. You need to be focused on what you're doing. You know, it's much better to build a connection with your habits. Just like if you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, it's much better to build connection with the technique, with the process, with your muscle. But you're not going there and just doing this and thinking about that dumb trade that you took. You know, that also doesn't help. So you gotta have mind and body connection. Just like in jiu-jitsu, I imagine. You know, just like in life, in trading as well. Whenever I react to a loss, I end up blowing my account. I find it difficult to accept the loss for the day. I'm working on myself to accept losses. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's tilt. That's tilt. That's why you're blowing the account, because of tilt. You know, like everybody is different, right? Some people tilt easier, other people don't tilt as much. Also depends on your risk, because risk is discretionary. You could take the same trade as somebody who lost 1% and you could be losing like 10%. So you're most likely to tilt than the other guy. So there's certain things which can definitely help you regarding that. First thing is risk, keeping your risk low. You know, don't put your risk up too high, because if you really need the trade to play out, then you're gonna feel much more emotionally attached to the position. So you gotta focus on risk and just taking 1 or 2 trades a day. Because look at this. When you go to the casino, you have to play. When you sit at the blackjack table, you have to play. You know, that's the difference. In trading, you're sitting at the table, but you don't have to play. So always remember that. You don't have to take a trade just because you're sitting here at the market at this time. This is not a 9-to-5 job. You know, you don't get paid for the amount of work that you do here. You get paid to wait. So you got to focus on like taking the trades that you really need to take, and not just because you put the hours in. Because sometimes, man, you could sit here for like 2 hours and maybe not even get anything. And once you're approaching it like that, you're already a warrior in a garden. So you're coming onto the charts, dictating to the market, like today is this day that I want to see this happen. If I don't see this happen, then I'm not doing anything. You know? And then that's how you take back control. Now, here's a caveat. Some traders, when they're building their systems, they might not see their setup happen for like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. You know, you can feel like you don't know what you're doing because you're not taking any trades. And that sometimes can play on your psychology, because you're going to feel like, man, I need to take something, like what's going on? So you see, then it comes to understanding your strategy and the concepts that you're trading to see like how often can you actually get a move. Because I remember I used to have these times, man, I used to go a few days without even getting a setup. And I just used to wonder like, what's going on here? And then I used to miss these setups on different currencies on my watch list. Or they used to happen at like odd times when I was not on the market. So understand your setup, understand your strategy. For my strategy, my concepts, I know for each hourly candlestick, I will most likely get a setup for each of these hourly candles, because that's what I'm trying to catch. I'm trying to catch an hourly candlestick. Correct? So each one of them can give me a setup. I already came onto stream. I saw this one little setup over here as well. Those are like the buys we spoke about. But for specifically this London time, I'm much rather happy trading with a trending market. But for each hourly candle, I can get my setup. So I know if I'm like on the market from this time to this time, I don't feel any FOMO. You know, I don't feel any FOMO because the next trade is just around the corner. If it's not that one, next trade is just around the corner. But definitely within 2 hourly candlesticks, if for some reason the previous hourly was a doji and it didn't move anywhere, there's a higher chance that the second hourly will have a move, at least some kind of a move. Because, you know, it's true. Sometimes the hourlies, they're just going to be like a doji. But you see, every hourly actually has a move. So that's what you're trying to catch. Every hourly has a move. Then it's easier to wait. Man, I'm still watching these sellers over here. You know, there's some people in sells in here. Stop loss above those highs. Looks like market is just playing with psychology here a bit. But I really don't think it's going to move up. I really doubt it, because the time is just off for price to move bullish. So he's playing with psychology. Also, this candlestick didn't have the bottom wick. But I think there's accumulation breakout that's currently happening. Let's see. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Boom, boom, boom. It doesn't look too good. Hey Vic, hey all, I'm not trading today. Reached my target last night. I'm sticking to my discipline. Glad to hear it, John. Candles now re-breaking them lows by 34.11. I think best way to accept loss is to not over risk. Problem is when you over risk, you know it will take 2 or 3 winning days / weeks or a month to recover. So just don't gamble. If you risk 1% or 0.5%, you know you are just one trade away to be. Yeah, that's true. You see when you over risk, you gotta work twice as hard to get it back. That's the issue. That's the issue with that. And then also that compounds. So the more you do it, the more harder you gotta work to get it back. That's the thing that actually you're trying to avoid most of the time, is that additional work of having to just now crawl your way back up. That's what you kind of want to avoid. So you could either scalp your way, or what's going to happen is sometimes you're going to hold a lot more trades, and you might be sometimes in a situation where it goes into profit and then comes against you, because now you're trying to hold based off of your fuck ups, you know, because you messed up so much. Now you're trying to hold your way. You're trying to hold your way out of the gulag, and all these profitable trades you could be having. Now you're playing catch up, you know. So instead of getting like maybe 1%, 2%, 3%, now you're playing catch up for this dumb shit mistakes, you know. And then you got one of these other losses. Then you miss all these winning trades and you get another loss. Now you're down again, and now you're just stuck in this mentality of, man, I need to dig myself out of this hole. So that's the main thing. Like, it's so easy to fall into that. Like, you have no idea with trading. So easy. It just starts with one dumb shit trade, and then before you know it, you got a dumpster over there. And we like stress-free trading. We love stress-free trading. There's nothing better than having a stress-free month. And that's why my favorite runner, Gbpjpy, says, only the disciplined ones are free. If you're undisciplined, you will be a slave to your emotions. That's where freedom comes in, from discipline. And look at this. Still very nice range here. Like 43.9 pips. Evic, but maybe some people will execute every move if the strat has showed up. What do you think? So basically it's valid. Oh, just because the move shows up doesn't mean you should take it, because, you know, there's always a probability of losing and winning trades. The longer you're in the market, the more you're going to lose. It doesn't matter if your setup shows up like 100 times in a day. It doesn't just mean that's because you've recorded it having a 80% win streak that it's going to win. The more of those trades that you take, it's going to lose overall. If you keep taking trades like back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. The problem is sometimes market cycles are very much in your favor and you can get away with it. But I think in the long run, if you're going through market cycles, you're going to have these times when like nothing is playing out. So just as you're having back-to-back wins, you can also have back-to-back losses. So it's also about just finding a balance, whether that's going to be 1 trade or 3 trades a day. And then just wait for it during your time that you're trading. So yeah, I think like today we had a lot of nice setups. Like if you're doing back-to-back, you could have actually gotten a lot of back-to-back trades here. A lot of back-to-back trades here. Maybe like some people, what they do is they take back-to-back until they lose. So you just must sample size that for yourself and see how that could look like in a duration of, let's say, 3 months. At least 1 full quarter. You know, at least 3 months. Taking trades until you lose. It could be interesting. But you know, again, it's like, do you want to be a slave to the market? Do you always want to be on the charts? You know, always looking for moves. You know, because that also builds up over time. That like constantly looking for entries, constantly on the market. Damn, I remember Elliot came to my school when I was in primary education. Eliud Kipchoge. Oh, that's sick. Come on, Goldie, dump it. Thanks, Fake. No worries, Derek. The hard time is to identify market is ranging or trending. And when is ranging, what is actual range? Then you need to know what is the best environment for your trading strategy. For me, ranging is amazing and pretty easy. Some people love ranging like this. Like how it's like taking sells off highs as well and buys off lows. Some people, they just need this ranging. And it's a pretty obvious range this is. Bro, you trade London session only? My first time here. Welcome, David. Yeah, this is the best London session stream here. We only trade the London session from 3 a.m. Eastern. So just like when London opens up, we're going to be on the charts. Yeah, I think people are going to be looking to sell this thing here. But still looking for that bearish continuation to fill that range. Sells on the close below do look like juicy. They do look juicy. Daily is down 0.11%. It's not really trending though, but it does. If this was, man, if we're down right now like 0.40 or something, I would take this. I would take this. But you know, I think in terms of just probabilities, there's still a higher probability that price moves down than it moves back up there. Because if you look at the way the PA is even set up right now, you got little fake outs, 15-minute fake out above that zone. It's a London time, not really trending. Stock in this gulag. I think probability wise, there's no distribution. You see how price is right now? There's no distribution. Generally speaking, I'm not talking about people sniper entries. You know, some people maybe they got sniper entries over here. I'm looking at general PA as always, guys. Candlesticks. There's no distribution yet. There's no distribution. So this is like gearing up for probability of this thing coming down from this point. Just like how price moved up on the 1 minute here. There's forming structure on the 5 minute now for potential continuation or correction actually. Then you're going to look back at it and you're going to say that, okay, you know, that's where the move came from. It came out of this zone. It's not going to come in the middle of it. You know, you could still catch a continuation down here like this. But this would be the inception. Right above here. That would be inception. 90% win rate on that. Pretty good. It's all probabilities thing. You know, it's all probabilities thing. Only the disciplined ones are free. Da, da, na, 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 na. You know what helps with FOMO is paper trading like this. Paper trading helps you with FOMO. So you can really gauge how your emotions are when you see this. Because, you know, maybe someone didn't execute. Now you're thinking, oh man, should have executed on that. But you see, if you didn't plan to take it, you shouldn't feel anything. You shouldn't. It's basically like what's happening here is the same trade that we paper traded on, was it Tuesday or Thursday? Was it Thursday? Yeah, I think it was on Thursday, wasn't it? It was Thursday we had a sell-off, or did that happen more times this week? No, we also had it happen on Wednesday. Yeah, I feel like that happened a few times this week, actually. Wait, what's going on here? Also, beautiful one on Tuesday, too. Like, top of the range. You see how price kept coming to the top of the range, and then creating this structure for a sell-off? But I think that Tuesday one was a lot more choppy because there was so many fake outs here that happened on Tuesday. Tuesday one was super choppy. Yeah, so I would say it was like Wednesday. One of them was Wednesday. I was speaking about these sells. See how price corrected that move? Boom, how it came down like this. And then still being patient, you know, I came and took my trade over here. Still took my sell. And then we also had another one here on Thursday. Beautiful little correction right over here as price was breaking below these lows. Correct this, move down towards support. And then this is the one that I took yesterday, the buy. So, you know, you don't really miss moves in the market. There's always the next move right around the corner. You see, you might have missed this one here. But next one's also going to be around the corner again. So those are two paper trades that we've done. So basically one sell off below here for price to move up. Then we can see that price is ranging. Still potential sells over here. Funny thing is these sells are already playing out with this candlestick. The only thing is like that candle did not have a bottom wick. Which is kind of weird. No bottom wick over there. But I think that's why there was drawdown. There was drawdown playing a little bit of psychology. And then price continued to move down on this push. Quite a nice push here too. It's still closed below support. But like how many pips is this? Tiny close. 0.2 pips below support. Rebreak of the previous lows. Clean range on the left hand side. And it's going to come down like this. You know, come down. And then it's going to set up against something else. I'm always glad that I found your channel, Vic. I'm now becoming more profitable and build my psychology. Glad to hear it, man. That's it. That's the goal. That's the goal. Get 1% better each time you watch the stream. Each time. Because, you know, like every time you go to a class, you're going to retain maybe like 10%. 10% of the information. I think that's how much it is. You don't retain so much of it. You retain a small bit of it. But consistently doing that over time, man, that like really compounds on that knowledge. And then you're going to forget 100% of it when you're done with the exam. So soon as the exam is done in school, you gotta unload that capacity. So you got capacity all the way up over here. As soon as the exam is done, it's like, ooh, never going to use that again. But man, in trading, you got to keep the pressure on. And you got to keep the pressure on. You got to how to keep your capacity like this by showing up every day. Your capacity will always be replenishing itself. Like a chakra. You know, like Naruto? Poo, 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 poo. Like how he does those hand signals. You got to replenish your chakra every day. You got to keep it high. If you take too long of a break, you got to come back. You got to come back. Especially if you're still learning. Because you're not yet a... what do they call him in Naruto? Those village leaders? Shinobi? Is that Shinobi? You're not yet Shinobi? So you know you're gonna come back and your chakra is gonna be down here. Because you don't have Naruto level chakra. You can't Naruto can take a month off and his chakra is still gonna be up here. You know, because he's more experienced. Oh, Hokage. Yeah, exactly, Hokage. You know, Hokages, they can hibernate. They can hibernate like this in a temple somewhere, but when it comes to final boss fight, they got the chakras up already. But you can't do that. You're on your journey, so you gotta go through the game. You gotta build up your chakra, so you can get to boss level chakra. You know, then you can take your month break off, and then you're gonna come back down here. You gotta rebuild it. So you gotta be locked in. The more locked in you are, the better. You see this beautiful freaking distribution. Rasengan. Rasengan is when the markets give a bomba clot.
Bomba clot.
That's when the chakra, not only your chakra, but the environment's chakra is all built up here. It's now ready for Rasengan bomba clot like this. See, you gotta use your environment as well to your advantage. Just like anything, you know, you gotta use your environment to your advantage for such a move. Where is your indicator? You didn't... Oh, no, we're not using it right now. It's because I'm looking more for 1 minute entries, mostly. I'm looking for 1 minute breakouts. I tell my students in Jiu-Jitsu that despite a bad day on the mats, when you get smashed, take a W from it. No matter how small, you're a little bit better next time. You know what? I love those Jiu-Jitsu videos of these guys fighting the women. And if you go to the comment section, they keep saying like, even though he lost, he won. Even though SMA are not in confluence with this distribution, PA is king at the end. Nice lesson. And yeah, exactly. The SMAs can sometimes throw you off, so just ignore them if it's not in favor in confluence here. Men of culture, unite. What is it? I haven't seen this one though. Why men and women shouldn't fight? This is why we have leagues. That did not look like they were fighting. That did not look like they were fighting, chat. Yeah, Goldie here should be coming downtown. We're looking at 3407. It's still got plenty of room. It's literally the same exact thing that happened on Thursday. No, this was on Wednesday. Price came down, beautiful reaction, and then gave one more entry confirmation right here towards the end. It will still have a little bit of range. It might take one more pause like this and then give like a potential entry as it starts to fill that range, continue filling that range down there. Let's see from here to here. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Man, I just love it. When price actually behaves the way it should, it's like music to my ears. You know, when you're not seeing any fake outs, you're literally behaving just like you should. Trading becomes so much more enjoyable. Because if you notice, there hasn't been any like there hasn't been any fake outs really. You can see also the 1 minute plays, how we broke down the 1 minute plays over here. And then it kept coming up, giving like secondary entries. And also here as well. There hasn't been like any liquidity grabs. It's like beautifully actually respecting exactly like it should move. I wish price would move like that. So even this small little psychology game, but you know, price continue to move down. Very clean. How do you say gold sells in Russian? That's a good question. How do you say gold sells? Pradavai. Pradavai gold. Pradavai gold. Pakupai gold. That's how you'd say it. Nada Pradavats. But gold is called I think Zolata. Pradavai Zolata. I'm not sure how to say gold. Pradavai is sell, Pakupai is buy. And then in German, kaufen. I say I remember it. Kaufen is sell and verkaufen is buy. I think that's how you say it in German. How do you say in Indian? How do you say buy and sell in Indian? Let me Google this. Indian. Oh no, I think what? Hindi to English. Oh, English to Hindi. Khareedna. Khareedna. How do you say sell? Bechna. Bechna gold. Bechna gold. Bechna. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the opposite. Kaufen is buy. Verkaufen sell. Oh, yeah. Bechna. Zendegu. What is this? FEG? OB plus FEG 5 minutes small reversal. So waiting for price to come down towards 34.08. Let's see how that looks with the 34.08. Here 65%. 34.08 lines up with the 65% as well of the range. In Chinese, it's may for and sell, but tone of the voice changes the meaning. If you say it like you're angry, it's sell. My. Lost in translation. It's oh damn, my internet went off. Wait, let's see if it comes back. Got red bars. Is Zoom good? Are we still live on Zoom? Yes? Okay, nice. It's just the YouTube stream. Yeah, it should be good anyway. Have you ever seen the... Man, we should learn how to do trading hand symbols. You know, that's also a whole nother language over there. Trading hand symbols. Wall Street symbols. Wall Street hand gestures. There's actually one hand gesture in here which is supposed to be, I think, this or like, are you stupid? I think it's like, are you stupid? Or okay, when you mess something up. Trading flow hand signals. I'm dying. Draw down. Choke yourself. Cut the trade. This is fuck my life. This is fuck my life. What if you just got an itchy nose? You're gonna scratch your nose and you're gonna cost yourself a lot of money there. Ooh. In Philippines, buy is penjod. In Philippines. My favorite. I'm watching a really nice series right now. It's called Alien. Oh, it's not shot in Philippines. It's shot in Thailand. So shot in Thailand. So there's this new series that's out right now. It's based off the Alien franchise, but it's basically Alien. They call it Alien Earth. It's shot in Thailand. Such a nice series. This is what I'm watching right now. Episode 4 came out yesterday. Hey Trintex, thank you for the sub. Hey, what's up, Vishu? What's your plan today? Man, plan today is just watching price range here until core PCE basically. You know, it's just sitting into just paper trading. We're doing a lot of paper trades here. It's actually playing out quite nicely, but yeah, we're just ranging, you know. We're just ranging. So that's why I mentioned, like, when we started stream, this is the playground, correct? Like, this is, you're not gonna get too ambitious here. Like, you know, if you, let's say you got to buy for some reason, you think it's going to skyrocket, it's not really a good time to be playing ambitious, because you get stuck in the range and then you start having profitable trades becoming losing trades. Even if that 1 hour looks so juicy, saw that 1 hour candlestick here looked like small little liquidity grab to start pushing upwards, but even that was still giving whips. You remember we even draw this. We even drew this situation here where it's like, okay, it looks liquidity grab, it looks nice, but the next candlesticks can just, like, you know, do the same thing. And then start to come back down like this. So it's a classic pre-New York session news range. But I'm still looking more for buys. If anything, I'm still looking, like, you know, if we get some buys later on, I think it's going to be good. For Freaky Friday, I think a buy setup would be nice. But we'll see. You know, it is Freaky Friday. Anything that happened here on Freaky Friday. Weekly candlesticks about to close. At some kind of resistance, but I know, like, we're definitely closing above 3,400. That's what I'm really anticipating, at least respecting 3,400. BTC is on the loose. Oh man, BTC, let's see where it's at now. It's going for negative 3%. It's down 2.63%. Just selling. Guys are just selling their Bitcoin as we're approaching the weekend. Like, maybe I'll have people sometimes that don't, obviously people don't like holding trades over the weekend, so you get risk off. And it looks like we're getting some crazy pushes, most likely to the downside here. This thing could still drop quite heavy because BTC has a lot of volatility in it. It can keep going down towards like 107. Maybe 107 is going to be a psychological mark for this. It can just keep pushing down. Man, massive little fakey situation that happened here. It's just the worst, you know? Because that's when people get that bullish exuberance. Oh, BTC at all-time highs, breaking the all-time highs at 124. And then boom. That's just the worst. See, that's why I showed you that clip with the Batman and the Joker. Because that's how you're going to feel. You know, that's gonna happen to you enough times that you're just gonna laugh with the Joker. Gonna become best buddies. And maybe sometimes you can become like teammates. I'm pretty sure there's an episode where Batman and the Joker are working together. You know, and then you're gonna become teammates sometimes. That's why it's like the same idea here for these buys that we called out before here. How we're anticipating a fake out. It's like now you're on the right side with the market. But in the long run, in the overall story between you and the market, Batman and the Joker, you are enemies. So you will always be enemies. But man, getting situations like this is awesome. Liquidity grab. You know, just like even Ricardo, I don't know who called this 15-minute fake out. Oh, but you know, we're expecting a fakie around these areas anyway. But you see with that 15-minute fake out situation, candlestick close above resistance, starts coming back down again. So now you're in line with the market. You're in line with the market. Fakie. Got your entry confirmations. Beautiful. So those for me are like my favorite trades. It's like when you see the fake out first and then you can be with the sharks. You can swim with the sharks. Because if you don't get the fake out first, you might end up being the shark food. That's why like this trade over here, we didn't get the fake out first. So that's why I was like a bit worried. I thought we were going to be the shark food on this one. Because see, these lows, we didn't have like any fake outs that happened. So, you know, thank God that just respected price action like it should. Then moved up. See, there was no fake out. It would have looked something like this. Then in this case, it would have come down. And then that would have been it right there. Then price would skyrocket up. Got caught a nice buy off support and sell off resistance. Just like it should be, Tom. In consolidating markets. Very nice. Alistair, thank you for the sub. Is this gold trade running? Yes.
Why are you running?
When you say fake out, do you mean liquidity sweep? Yes. Yeah, liquidity sweep. Thanks for the 100 likes, guys. Appreciate it. Need to go. Last day on vacation. Wish you all a great weekend. And you on Sunday for simulation? Oh, okay, nice. See you on Sunday then. Enjoy your weekend. Sunday fun day. I reckon the sharks are saving their appetites for NY. Yes, definitely. Man, that's the thing with Freaky Friday is the thing when the volume comes in, it's going to push. It's going to push for the end of the week over here. Because you could either have people also keying in positions or securing risk off for the weekends. But whatever it is, I'm always expecting like a big push. A big push. You see right now, all this is like putting ammo into the gun. It's like slowly the market is sitting somewhere right now. It's cleaning its gun. And it's just like, you know, making sure maintenance is good. It's putting in the bullets. Slowly putting in the bullets. Getting ready for a war soon. Which is either going to be up or down. But man, this whole accumulation, all these orders, they're going to have to distribute somewhere. You know, so it's waiting for core PCE. And with core PCE, you're going to see it distribute now. But it's giving like good signals of, I would say, potential buys. I reckon this thing is going to skyrocket upwards. Because every time the buyers are coming in, they're moving with exuberance. So we're definitely still feeling that in the market here. Month end on a Friday. Sharks are circling for sure, but the water's too deep to see them so far. Gonna ask slowly. Okay. Let's see what Zoli thinks. 80% off trading view flash sale. 2 days, 19 hours left. Will gold for Freaky Friday today skyrocket bullish after core? No, skyrocket bullish or melt bearish? Let's get our fortune here been told. Cleansing deck. It's been taking longer than usual. I feel like maybe a lot more people are using this GPT. That's typically what happens with these AI thingies. Like when there's a lot of people using it, it's like becoming slower. It's loading up the chakras right now. Getting ready. Complement your technical analysis with mystical analysis with a tarot reading from our trader fortune teller. Oh, it says bankrupt. Ultimately, the path shall not skyrocket bullish. Instead, expect a melt bearish in the unfolding dance of gold today. Uh-oh. Looks like a scary card. But you know, when I look at it from this perspective, on the 4 hour, if it melts, it can be a pretty deep melt. Because see, the 4 hour looks very clean over here. Scary. Yeah, it's pretty scary here. You know, it's like if you take a buy and you start to see red plays a strong emotion. You know, red is a very strong emotional color. So this is like I guess like why it would be scary. Hey, bang on if you ask me. Yeah, red's a very emotional color. You know, when I take a sell and I see buy, like blues, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. But when you take a buy and you start to see red candles, and all is more fearful of the red candles because they move faster than the bullish candles typically. Maybe Zoli is the shark. Does RSI and divergence matters? I know they're lagging indicators. Yeah, that's what they are. They're just lagging indicators. Spot on. That's all it is. Everything that you use that's an indicator is a lagging indicator. You know, you can come over here and just basically turn all of this off, and this is all you get. This is all you get is candlesticks. This is the market right here. This is what you're reading. The story of candlesticks. Because look, candles are telling you what? Right now, market's consolidating. It's telling you a story, so it just comes down to like how good are you at reading this story of candlesticks. You know, that's it. That's all it is. Indicators are just like extra confluence. So you want to get good at understanding candlesticks better. You know, even a blind person could read candlesticks. You know, if the word braille, and they're just going to put their finger across it and they're going to see, they're going to go down like this. They're not going to feel anything. They're going to go up like this. And they're like, oh shit, okay, market is consolidating right now. All right, so now I gotta sit on my hands until maybe we break below these lows, or maybe we break these highs. You know, like that's the thing. It's like that's all you get. So why not get good at reading the candlesticks? All that other stuff, man, it's just been put there for you so you can, like, you know, like Tupac Shakur's mom said. I think I butchered his second name, but you know, like Tupac says. His mom told him that the industry is gonna give him all the tools he needs to destroy himself. You know, all the fame and fortune the drugs, the alcohol, all that stuff is going to be given to him to destroy him. So it's like in trading, when you come onto TradingView first time, typically you're going to have so many indicators here, so many options of things, so many point of controls, divergence, and it looks like it's trying to help you, but they're just giving you all the tools that you need to destroy yourself, you know, because they don't want you to actually learn how to trade, how to actually read candlesticks, you know. They want you to base your analysis off of some third-party tool and then rely on that, which is most likely going to be a losing system. So yeah. Institutions trying to get that sweet price. It could be a dump for a pump on market open as well. Could be like securing some profits from, securing some positions from earlier, and then to take profits out for a continuation next week. A pricing in. That would be the only thing that would make sense for me in terms of a potential sell-off. I think it's gearing up still. It's still on its way down, it seems. It still has about 20, 18, 19 pips. 19 more pips to the downside. 19 pippies. 15 minute just looks like it did a small little liquidity grab above previous candlestick over here. Is it Tupac Shakur? Is that, how do you say his second name? Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur. You guys see Tupac's car is getting sold for like, I think they're selling for $200,000. The BMW that he got shot in. I think it's selling for 200,000. Huh? Does that say 1 million? I saw it on there's this show. Yeah, Pawn Stars. If you know this show, there's this show over here that were selling Tupac's car. I did think that they said 200K. They said 200K because there's no bullet holes. If they kept the bullet holes in there, it would be more value. You know, but you see this? They removed the bullet holes and they also changed the rims on the car. But if they kept that all still in there, it'd be worth millions. But I think it's a very specific buyer. Maybe it's like worth 200K, but a very specific buyer could probably go for like 1 million even just to have it. But wait.
Big money players. Well, I think the right place, the right octave it so much. But this card, because of the connection to a crime and murder and all that stuff, establishing that value is the tough part. Who's your demographics going to buy
The connection to a crime and a murder.
discretionary income to buy this car? You're talking big money players. $500,000 to $1 million bucks. Okay.
Yeah, so he was gonna sell it to him for 200K, and he could get a valuation of this for like $500,000, $1 million. But yeah, I guess there's a lot of things, you know, with this car that still, like, if it had a few other things in there, it could have probably gone for more millions of dollars. So he didn't take it. It's a pretty nice show. Pawn Stars. That's mad. Yeah, that's crazy though. Like, I wonder why this guy's here is selling what, 1.7 million? Oh, it can't even work. The website's not even working. This is the actual car Tupac was shot while riding after the fight at AMG Las Vegas. Should have kept the bullet holes in there. That's how memorabilia works, you know. The more like authentic it is, the more value it has. I'd be scared of anyone who is bidding mad money on that. What twisted guy wants that? It's definitely not because it's an amazing car. It's like a piece of history, that is. You know, like Don Vu's account. I could buy Don Vu's account if he sells it, the one that he blew. It's like a piece of history, you know? Got some nice memorabilia in there. Put that in a garage for 15 years. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The messed up with cleaning it up though. Please stand by. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's still got some room. It's like a small pause. It's, you know, it's so funny because every time on stream we have the situations that we've already covered and we try to do them in depth. You know, we always have these videos, we speak about these situations. And you see this? You see this over here? This is like the same idea. This is the same idea for the trade that I took. See how price had already come down and then it retraced upwards and then continue to push downwards again. It's like literally the same thing. But you guys don't support me, man. Y'all only support the live streams, but you don't support the other stuff. See, this got like 10 likes here, basically no views, no comments. But you know, it's all good. I still love you guys. I still love you guys. I will continue to provide this value. I think it does help some people out there too. Because you talk about it a lot. You see it happen over and over again. And then you're like, damn, you know, now it's starting to click a bit more. But you got to see it happen over and over again. And you're going to be like, okay, you know, that makes sense. That's how it is. You got to see something, I guess, happen over and over again till it clicks. You know, you're going to paper trade, and then you start to naturally execute. Yeah, great videos, Vic. Can't make the horse drink. That is true. I need to show a Lamborghini once. Then people are going to really listen to me. If I show Lamborghini. But I don't like that route. I find that route a bit manipulative. I don't like to do that to my audience. I don't think there's value in that. You know, it just creates like FOMO and stuff, but it's not like really providing value. Yeah, beautiful little head and shoulders there. A little accumulation, small little fakie too. Now it's off to the races here. Just to finish up the range down towards 3406. If you go that route, I'm unsubscribing. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Because I think, man, the best thing is about a private life is having a private life. You know how many people wish they could have private lives? How many people wish they didn't start having themselves on a pedestal? Because now you're going to always expect, every time someone sees you, they expect you to be doing that same exact thing. You know, it feels really good to be free. Not having expectations and you're just being yourself. That's where a lot of people go wrong, is when they start to chase certain things like that and they're put on a pedestal and they have to keep spending money to maintain that look on social media. Like, people really care about that. But you know, when you do things like that, you can't do things with integrity. It becomes a bit more difficult. Yeah, now you see this thing is coming down here. It's pretty much already filled up the range. So you see, if you miss this move, don't worry, next move's around the corner. Just the same way as price was moving up over here. You were patient, waited for your extra confirmations, and then you got your confirmations over here and price moved down towards support. Now you feel like you've missed this move. Remember, the next move is again right around the corner. And you see, waiting at that point doesn't become that difficult. Lay off the Hogwarts farm. Yeah, I gotta stop glitching that game, man. Getting too rich. Oh man. I'm an introvert, so not so many people know how I live. You know, if you're an introvert, trading is the best job for you. Because all you got is your charts, your account, and your peace of mind. And you know, just show up onto the charts, do your thing, make your money, and you don't have to deal with anybody. The only thing you're gonna deal with here is the market, so that's about it. Which is easier dealing with the market, honestly, than it is dealing with people. Once you understand how to read markets and you understand language of markets, it's much easier to deal with markets than it is people. You know, like how people love animals more than actual people, like animal lovers. They like animals more than people. It's like the market is a similar relationship like that. It's like, you know, the animal, it can attack you sometimes, you know, it can scratch you, it can injure you, but you kind of like understand it. So you're not going to be as harsh towards the animal, correct? So the market's like an animal. So it's much easier. Like once you understand the language, then it's becoming a lot more stress-free. Eric W, thank you for the sub. Put a Coke machine in front of me. I'm getting one without needing a drink. I remember, guys, drink more water. Get some of that H2O in you. No reason to trade like a raisin, you know. Just let the setups come to you. Don't force your moves. Like every forced move in the market is always like gonna be your worst trade whenever you force a move. But it's flowing beautifully today. Like honestly, very nice setups back and forth. As far as our Freaky Friday goes, it might give another attempt to break the lows and then pull back up again, though. I think that's what I might be looking at here. Breaking below these lows again by 34.06. Imagine the people still holding this. You know, holding this longs, because trust me, there are people in here. And I would be those people in year one. Still holding this, expecting like a much nicer risk to reward. And then you get winning trades, come back and hit your stop loss. So I think it might be looking to take out these lows. Yeah, that 4 hour is still looking pretty interesting. It needs to get through that 8 SMA though. Clean range down towards 3400. What chart you watching? This is gold spot. Yeah, you can see it up here. Yeah, money changes, man. Money changes people. You know, I'm still the guy who has sometimes some things paid for me by my friends. Because I don't always like to show my money. You know, of course I'll pay for things. I'm very like generous when it comes to such things. Like I'll definitely pay for things and it's not a problem. But at the same time, I like things also being paid for me. So I don't like to let people know that, you know, that you're making a lot of money. Like you don't let people know such things. These are very private things. The only problem is like in our industry we have to show a bit of transparency, so I definitely will try and show you guys like the trades that we take, and we can have our spreadsheets and everything. But in the real world, money changes you. You gotta be very careful with the way, when you start becoming profitable, you gotta be very careful with the way you start living your life as well. Because you know it's gonna be easy for you. You always kind of get withdrawn from like reality a bit. Because you're gonna make money so easily, you get withdrawn from how difficult real life is. So you know, it's not good to boast about these things. You always gotta remain humble. I'm at work trying not to get caught on the phone. I'm getting on the trend today, only trading for 4 months. Oh, nice. Welcome, sir. 4 months in, so much to learn. So much to learn. But you know, just enjoy the journey, and you're gonna thank yourself for it. Your future self is gonna thank yourself that you never gave up. And the beautiful thing about trading, it's like you're literally learning the skill of life itself. You know, this is the matrix. Without this, our life does not exist. You know, without the market, without the charts, like if this all ends one day, then life basically ends. you know, because this is what's governing our economy. So you're literally learning about the fundamental building blocks of our existence, you know, our economy. It's such a massive skill to understand, because the regular person will not have the luxury to even understand it to the abilities you will be able to if you're putting in the work, you know, even for a whole year or 6 months, really putting in the work. You're going to have a different perspective on life. And I think that's what the beautiful thing about the market is. And it also teaches you a lot about yourself too. So it's kind of pulling you out of the rat race a bit. You know, also getting yourself out of yourself by understanding your certain habits as a person. So you're understanding the overall market, the matrix, and you're understanding yourself and these subconscious behaviors that you have. And, you know, I think all in all, even if you don't become a profitable trader, whatever you're going to learn here is going to be taken with you forever. So it's never like a zero-sum game. You're always going to get something from it. And that's why I say get something for your pain. You know, if you're going to go through a hard time, which you might, you know, as learning how to become a trader, you're going to go through a hard time, but you're going to get something for your pain. At least you're going to get something for the pain. It's not going to be all in vain. And that's why we do it. And some of us just keep doing it until we become profitable. Some of us give up. Some of us are chasing the carrot. You know, chasing that carrot that's always so elusive. You can never catch the carrot. That's not good. You got to enjoy the journey and get something for your pain every day. Even if you're getting losing trades, you're getting lessons. Yes, you might have lost monetary wise, but you've gained something psychologically that can help you further along your journey. Let's see. I've absolutely enjoyed trading this range today. Second and last trade of the day, week and month. I'm taking my profit since it's Friday. Won't let it hit TP. It's been a good range. Let's go. TP hit. Down to the bottom of the range. I reckon before we go up, it probably does one more liquidity fetch below support here by 34.06. So one more liquidity grab. Monday amplifies not changes. That's what I think. Not all people. Money didn't change me. Just stay humble. I've seen my mentors get changed by money. I've seen one who's still being changed by money, and I've seen one who's been humbled. It's so funny. Like two of these guys I really, really loved. One guy is still on his high horse because he started so nice, but now he's so different. Like you see the money get to his head. And now there's another guy who's kind of like when I met him, he was always on a high horse. Like he was pretty high up, but now he's down. Now he's like super humble. Yeah, money changes you, man. Like as much as you say it wouldn't change you, I've seen even people who say these things like money doesn't change me. I've seen them being changed by money. It's like in their small behavior over there. It's because once you start at a certain path, and that's why I'm keeping the lifestyle thing away for now. And I've seen it's once people start on that lifestyle path, man, there's no going back. You know, there's no going back at that point. Because you know what happens? You get a taste for the engagement. You're gonna see your numbers are gonna go up like this thing and be like, damn, okay, so let me do this again. Let me show off maybe next time. Let's take it to another level. Then your numbers are gonna go up. You know, that's the trick. But you see, that will in itself already start to change you, because you're gonna start doing things which you never used to do to get a certain result. That's why for me, I'm building my channel, my brand of authenticity first, and then all that shit's gonna come later. You know, you gotta prove to yourself that people are actually following you for value and not because you're showing them material things. Like, trust me, money changes you because it opens doors. It opens a lot of doors that were unlocked before. So you gotta walk through these doors and you gotta experience a different reality. So that's why I wish for all of you, when you do become profitable, is that you're able to remain disciplined, remain humbled. I hope God gives you the strength. Let's see, gold rate today, yellow metal hits record highs. The precious metal remains popular pick for investors ahead of what is expected to be a period of looser monetary policy in the US starting next month. Oh yeah, exactly. Let's actually see what the DXY is doing, because on the monthly time frame it had that break and retest. It's got an inverted head and shoulders. They're on the daily, but yeah, no, at the monthly, still coming down. So you see like how that range was just corrected here on gold from here to here. It's the same thing that's happening here. So it's looking to come down, and with the added factor of the policy cuts, the rate cuts, we're gonna get through these levels like nothing. These little minor support levels are gonna get broken through, and this is what I'm expecting, the dollar to come down towards like 90, because we're expecting not 3 but 2 rate cuts by the end of the year. 2 basis point, 25 basis point cuts. So I believe the dollar should be dropping here in value towards like this low by 90. I don't think it's gonna go any lower than that. I see it's like currently at a distribution phase right now. I just did a small little break and retest. So you have price here consolidate, boom, 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 little fake out situation, came down, break and retest. So you see the importance of doing this over and over again is just so these concepts stick. It's like you're going to start naturally seeing them as well. Even as we're not taking any trades, you see we're going through these examples here. And the next time you're going to see the position, it's just going to stick and become like second nature. Ivek and all, every time I partake in your stream, always learning and improving how to break through the psychology of letting a trade run a whole range without having such a tight a sell. How to break through the psychology of letting a trade run a whole range without having such a tight a sell. I'm not sure what you mean, but you see, if you're looking at these, if you're talking about this range, usually this is a bit more of a greedy hold for sure. Like if you're holding towards the bottom of the range, you see how that's been filled up. I'll usually secure like somewhere where if price reverses, I'm not gonna feel too bad about it. Like how do I say this? Yeah, just like a decent push. Because you only need like a slice of the cake. You don't need the whole cake. Correct? And if you still want to hold it, you can secure like 80%. But in terms of the stop loss, you got a few options now in terms of stop loss. You see, in this situation, this is like a shotgun play. So stop loss could have been above the candlestick which closed below that support. Right here. And as this candle broke the previous lows, you got your stop just above that candle. So you got a few options for your stop loss. So that could be one. If you don't want such a tight a sell, what you can do is you can put it up here. You can maybe put it above like a bit of structure on the 5-minute. Just looking on the left hand side to see where the structure is. So I guess this would be the safest one. All the way above here. This would still be a range. The range doesn't change. You know, the thing about profit is this doesn't necessarily change because this is the whole range. Right? But you could choose whether to go super safe stop, medium safe stop, and a little bit of a tighter stop over here because you got an entry confirmation candle. So you're always going to have like some options. But you're using the wicks also. Kind of looking at the wicks. Because those are the wicks that needs to be broken to invalidate the trades. Because if price is moving down, you're not expecting it to move back up. You know, so like in this scenario, the small little accumulation play here, you can put your stop loss above this area. Because it's breaking the accumulation to the downside. You're not expecting it to come all the way back up there. So it kind of depends on your risk appetite. You know, if you feel like, man, I really want to stick into this, so let me give it more room. Or if you want to have a tighter one, maybe using a bigger lot size to catch more percentage gains. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. Because obviously, tighter stop loss, look at how nice the range is. It's like a 1.4. You start increasing it, becomes a 1.93. Increase it so much, becomes a 1.46. Whilst this is also still very valid in my eyes, to at least have that 1.4. Will I be live until PCE report drops? I missed last Friday not knowing the significance of it and went bearish pots, not today. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna be on the chart by by this time, I'm not going to even be on the charts. So I think you just gotta see. Just don't trade the core PC. Just see where it breaks out. See if it starts to break out either the lows or the highs. Then the market should start flowing in that direction. Typically for Freaky Friday. With if it breaks the lows, then 3400 will be a magnet for price to keep moving down. Then just wait 30 minutes or something like that after the news comes out, so you kind of have a better perspective if it's a fake out or not. And then it should give you some sort of direction. SMA keeps it down. Oh yeah, thinking it comes back up. Yeah, if you're the thing about the rage also is these are your best trades, you see? It just keeps going in your direction. So these are typically the situations that you want to find yourself in. So if you find price pushes a decent amount from your entry, you gotta start making some rules for yourself as well. How much you're gonna say, I'm gonna put my stop loss to break even. Whether that's gonna be at a 0.5 or even a 1-to-1 risk to reward, every time it hits it, you gotta put your stop loss to break even. But remember, your best trades always are never gonna give you a hard time. So these are the ones which just kind of push, give you good solid pushes in your direction. So ideally you'd want to be in situations like that. It does get a lot more difficult if price stays here and then starts to create structure like this. Then you just gotta be careful not to mismanage the trade. So give it some breathing room so it can move. And then when it moves, maybe it breaks a key wick like this, then you can say, okay, now it's time to put it to break even, because I've seen that the market is starting to move again. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Hope you all enjoy your weekend. I will see you back on stream next week, Monday. Remember, don't ruin your Friday. Right now, price action is looking amazing. Still people playing this range, buys at the lows, sell at the highs. So appreciate you all tuning in. Enjoy your weekends, and I will see you all in the next one. Adios.